Welcome back to the Eagles. We have made it to the Europa Conference League semi-final. We're going to play both legs today against Standard Liège. I've changed tactic. I needed to change tactic. I'll talk about it in a bit, but it is literally not only just saved the season, probably saved the save. All right, guys, let's get into it. Smash a like on today's video. Just lets me know that you're still enjoying the series. A lot to talk about, a lot to digest. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so here we are. We are currently, I'll just give you like an up-to-date. I can't even finish the sentence. An update. That is what I'm after. 6th place, 3 league games to go. And we've had a nice little steady period where we've kind of performed. Now, because it's been Easter holidays and Amy's been around a lot, she's not working at the moment, it's made it difficult to kind of record. We've spent a bit of time together, and once you get out of the routine of the save, it's hard to dive back in. And when I did dive back in, we had an absolute stink bomb. It was in and around this area here, and we would just not, we couldn't score, we couldn't create yet. We had a nice 0-0 against Ajax, hung on, bearing in mind we had a player sent off after 55 minutes, but we just struggled, and it was making me not enjoy the save. And I thought, right, I need to change something completely. So after this little running out, there's wins in the Europa Conference League against Dundalk and Legia Warsaw. They don't really count. We got binned absolutely by Feyenoord 4-0. And then here, we've made a change. We've gone to a very, very standard 4-2-3-1. Now, the main reason behind it is I did do a Jose Mourinho video, the Real Madrid sort of like 2011, 2012 side. And I really enjoyed advanced playmaker in the number 10. I thought, right, let's see if we can get that going. Let's just have a change. 4-2-3-1 to all of you lot is probably like a go-to tactic. For me, I never do a 4-2-3-1. Very rarely do I ever go to a 4-2-3-1. And yeah, it's gone pretty well. We've only had a few defeats. Heerenveen early on. Aberdeen in the second leg of the Europa last 16. But we did win the first leg away from home 8-1. And I rotated all 10 outfield players, which gave us the opportunity just to have a little bit of a rest because we've had quite a busy schedule. We've racked up really impressive wins. 5-0 against Utrecht. We've then drawn against Ajax 0-0. We beat PSV deservedly away from home. And then we've just had a really good result against AZ, who are above us. We've just sneaked to 1-0 away. We're kind of struggling strike-wise. We've really tightened things up at the back. Generally, we've conceded. I think we've probably conceded close to like less than one per game. Nearly 32 goals conceded in 31 games. Only scored 46, so we need to sort that out for next season. I'm just thinking, right, sell a few. We are playing with an advanced forward now, so that doesn't really suit Van Hooijdonk. We will probably keep Van Hooijdonk, but I'm thinking that we put all our money in the striker bracket for the summer. Get a striker that is going to score as an absolute shit ton playing this formation. So I'm looking at pace, power, finishing. Pace, power, finishing. That's what I want. A proper number 9. That's what I'll be looking for. Probably a little point in the week when this season has finished. But we've got left Standard Liège. Hercules we're not going to show you. I'll just do that quickly off camera. And then Standard Liège. And then I've got Feyenoord and Groningen. The only issue is if we don't win the Europa Conference League, we are going to be in this European playoff with probably PSV, us, Heerenveen, and one of those teams. So having PSV in it isn't great. They aren't going to catch 20. AZ have won the cup. So yeah, we need to win the trophy. It's going to be difficult against Standard Liège. There's also 20, which I'd kind of fancy us beating, actually. And then they're probably the favourites for it all, Eintracht Frankfurt. They've still got Colin Moani. They've still got the manager as well, so it just shows what level they are on. We could do with a player like that. He's now 30. He's now 30 years old as well. Okay, so this is the tactic. Pretty bog standard. 4-2-3. Now, we've kept a lot of the principles in that we had. So, full back on attack. I've tweaked the full wing. This was wing back on spot. We've got a bit of a nightmare. Beaumont has had a really good season. The youth player that we got from Dortmund, he's been out for a while, injured. Rodriguez has then had a slight hamstring strain. And then Benfica B have decided to recall him for some reason, as FM tends to do. So, we're a bit struggling in there. So, it looks like today Ethan Laird will play, who is leading at the end of the season. But we've got a nice... Bazic is now kind of the first choice fullback on attack. We've left the two wide players doing what they do. We've changed the Twekatista to an advanced forward. And then The number 10 role, Collard, is starting to come alive a little bit. He's on the improvement. He's had a decent return. We'll get more games out of him next year. He can play there. Mouvier can play there. We're also given a few games. I've called up. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. Let me know what you do with your Wonder Kids. This is obviously Gökhan Setin, our bright young prospect. I've just decided to let him play with us a little bit. He's only played 3 appearances. It's got the nitty-gritty, and I've not been able to rotate him as much, but he did get an assist in one of, and I think in his only start that he's had. Promising midfielder, mercenary personality. He is part of a few mentoring groups as well, so we'll hopefully get a tune out of him. 16 years old. He's looking pretty good as well. If we're looking for a number 10, first touch, passing, technique, teamwork is good, work rate's pretty good to be fair, vision, flair, all pretty good. Obviously strength terrible, but we'll get that going. Both looks like he's going to be both footed as well. So pretty good, as in a classic number 10 who's going to have the vision to pick out some passes. Also in the game, he's got a wonderful mohawk. In the match engine, he's got a wonderful mohawk as well. So he stands out a little bit, does Gökhan Setin. Right, so let's get Ethan Laird in. Others haven't performed, like Fofana is definitely just going to be one of those guys. That's going to be a backup for us. I maybe should use him a little bit more. Like, Van Hooydonk's done okay. I think I will give him a little run out in probably one of the other, then maybe the league games. Van Hooydonk's done okay. He doesn't suit advanced forward just because he hasn't got much pace. 29 years old now, but, you know, he's scored what? Only scored 10 goals in 17. Not bad. 7 goals in the Europa Conference League, but he did score 5 in one game, again, the game against Aberdeen. So, yeah, we really need to strengthen in the summer. And then everything else, you know, we'll try and get a couple of loans in again, left backs. Williams, Adolf has had a really good season, 7.09, still 21 years old. He's going to get better. Everyone else is kind of staying. We'll try and sell maybe a couple, including Tarega. We've got a little bit of money left over. We could have as much as maybe £10 million, depending on how well we finish the season. And then, yeah, if we just go in and just sign a striker, and then we'll be good to go for the following season. Right, Ethan Laird in. Clabinio's out injured as well. We just do with Clabinio just coming back, just to help with a little bit of rotation. So he will be back at some point. The Rame's had a really good season, 16 goals for him. He just tends to come alive, like after Christmas. Recep Gunez is another one. I'm really thinking about, you know, he's got a minimum release clause of 20 million. I'm deciding whether I think Reece Nelson could hit those numbers that he's got right now. So we may look at moving him on, and it may just give us the option of then strengthening, getting, instead of 1 key player, getting 3 key players in. I'm a bit worried. He's got 2 years left on his deal. He's going to have no interest in signing a new contract. Does he want to discuss? Oh, he might. He might. Okay. Interesting. I'd like to get rid of the £19 million release clause, but I do kind of think selling him, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What to do with Gunez. Bearing in mind, like, we've got 21,000, only 3.3 million left. We'll get more money in the end of the season because of, you know, performance bonuses. You know, with this season, we've made a loss. Did we spend a lot this summer? Yeah, we spent a lot. We have spent a lot. Okay. That's fine. But then we may look at moving like Ted Gerd's, my backup, English keeper, or maybe look at moving him on as well. Right, let's go play these games. Let's go. Come on. So as I said, it's kind of vital we, win it. It'd be mint, like, just for the save in general. Then if whatever happens, we could say we won a European trophy, we'll go ahead Eagles. So we'll see. Whoa. Because we're kind of getting to that point. We've maybe got 2 years left of this squad, and then a lot of contracts are going to need updating, and big players are maybe going to want to move on, peaking. The Rami, the midfield boys that have been so good for so long. You know, Fabian may want to move back to Italy, maybe to a bigger club. So a lot to ponder over these next 2 years, and I need to be prepared for it. Right, Mo Salah, apparently. Williams wins it. Bazicic down to Collard into Recep. And we're off. Fabian goes long. Darami, he's in great form. He's cutting in on his right foot. Deflected. Van Hooijdonk, I think it's going to be offside. It wasn't, and we've missed a big chance. Looks like we might have another one. We've had a steady start to the game. 33 in. Collard, he's won it. He's pulled it. Oh, he should have pulled it. Fabian's there. Gunez fires it in. It's 1-0. Good on. This is also going to help with our coefficient. I think PSV are in or firing order in the Europa Conference League with Lisbon. There's no other teams, Ajax or anyone else like that in the Champions League or any of the Portugal clubs as well. So this, with us and 20 doing well, we may see a little closing the gap on that coefficient. Remember, we lost that coefficient. We lost a Champions League place for it. So performances like this are going to go a long way to getting that place back. We've had 14 shots in this first half, 75% possession, absolutely dominating. Let's kill this game off. It'd be nice to kill it off, and then we have a little bit of a not a stupid rotation, but a little bit of rotation. Nelson, Fofana can all come in. It's like Gunes is the captain. Bazicic, Fabian, Durami. He's gone past one. He's going past two. He's going to pull it. Oh, he should have pulled it. Or at least fire it across the 6-yard box. There was Van Hooijdonk waiting. And you know what I'm also getting? We have poor performances from our strikers. And I put on either a Tarrega or what's the other one called? Fofana. We just don't get that impact. We get no real impact from our strikers coming on off the bench. I think we do really need to strengthen it. Like Van Hooijdonk will do a job for us. He'll be back up. Collardi's in. It's 2-0. Advanced playmaker. Getting into those numbers. Oh, it won't count. It won't count. I didn't think that was nowhere near us. Oh, come on. Durami's offside. Let's ask for a little demand more. What's a looper from Laird? Flicks it on. Does Van Hooijdonk to Durami. He should have pulled it this time. Oh, God. That's an absolute sitter from Collard. He's in really good goal-scoring form as well since getting into this number 10 role. And we should have this game dead and buried, boys. 62 gone, 2.37. They've had 3 shots, 1 on target, next year of 0.14. Right, are we playing out from the back? Looks like it. We've got rid of the Volante role as well. I just kind of thought we didn't need it, with obviously having a 10 in there and 2 inside forwards that were cutting in. But let's just start with a nice little, a bit like a De Zerbi base, where you've got 2 players sat in there helping us progress the ball a little bit. And I've just gone for a DM, a simple DM on support, and it's worked really nicely. They're in. They should have scored. They should have scored. Right, we're going to do some changes just to see if we can freshen it up in that final third. We're going to leave the back sort of like 7 in. But what we are going to do is get Mouvet in, who does like to make a little bit of an impact. We'll also go striker. I always want, right, let's go for Fofana because I'm going to sell Tarrega. I'm going to keep Fofana because he's Dutch as well and can play the other roles. Durami is really struggling. Okay. Let's do the front 4 change. The Eredivisie doesn't matter as much now because we're kind of banking on, what, sixth place, I suppose. So we can rest a little bit. I'd rather just keep the good form. We got Hercules next to him. I'd rather just keep the little decent run going. Get those greens. And maybe, rotate maybe after 60, 70 minutes. But they're going to score. They are going to score. This game should have been dead and buried. And because we're not clinical in front of goal, we've allowed Standard Liège to back into it. And they've probably deserved it with the last couple of efforts they've had on goal. We've had an XG of 2.68, boys. Okay, 24 shots we've had there. Look at the numbers. We should have won it. Right, I'm going to go play the Hercules game. I think I'm going to allow Fofana to go up front because we need to do something. We need to do something a little bit different. I don't want to go to Tarrega because he's requested a transfer and his attitude's all over the place. So I don't think he's in the right frame of mind. But we need to change something. Right, everyone, we're back. As you can see, 20 are 3-1 down. Home leg, though, so you never know. Could we potentially get an all-Dutch final? Right, we've got to do our job. We've had a convincing 4-0 win over Hercules. Fofana scored 2 and had a goal disallowed. Now, Mouvier also put in a tremendous performance. But I'm still going to go with Collard because the idea was just give him a rest. I also managed to rest Fabian and Raskin as well. So really chuffed about that. We also pulled off both fullbacks. Gave a little bit of game time to Raymond's son, Ferry, who is a very average left back, but potentially could just be part of the squad. He is, as you can see, both-footed. So I really want him to be like the Ethan Laird backup for next year. Obviously, Ethan Laird's leaving. He's done both jobs on both sides. Very strong on both feet. So, yeah, he's going to be a part of our squad, definitely. Just doing a job from the bench. But hopefully he won't be needed today. Bumari's still injured, so we are going to have to go with Laird. Williams, Letkovic, Bazic. And Letkovic is the Serbian. Is he Serbian? Is that Serbia? Yeah, Serbian. Doing really well, 6'4". Now, I have changed it a little bit with the tactic as well. The goalkeeper always passes it to Williams, the left side, and he also sometimes put Bazic there. I've also changed the role of Letkovic from a ball player just to a central defender because he's passing his 10. He prefers to be like a no-nonsense. Williams, on the other hand, has got passing of 14 and is a little bit of a baller. So he tends to get on the ball as much as possible. Right, Raskin, Fabian, Darami, Collard, Recep, and Fofana. Just so you know as well, boys, like, if we get through today, Tuesday's episode will be final. And I also will be announcing on Wednesday my stream save. I'm moving on to Twitch, if you didn't know. I am actually streaming tonight at 9 p.m. as part of the FM community charity stream. I'm taking over Maidstone. I'm about the 10th streamer, or the 5th or 6th streamer, so maybe headed into the sort of like the 2nd or 3rd season. Go and check me out. I'll put my link down in my Twitch down below. I've got a tremendous save idea for what's going to be the stream save, which will be on Sunday evenings over on Twitch. So make sure you check it out. Right, here we go. Don't blow it, lads. We should have had this game dead and buried. Right, Letkovic, Raskin. Build up from a back three. We progress. So the idea is that I've put Laird on a fullback on support. I've noticed a lot now, especially in real life football, a lot of teams are kind of playing deeper fullbacks, so having the less adventurous forwards, sort of like forward-thinking fullbacks. Now, normally my go-to is like wing-back on attack, and has been, but I'm trying to create a little bit more in terms of a bit in the press, and also them helping in build-up. So if they were playing with a more traditional, maybe 4-2-3-1, so having them a little bit deeper will probably encourage them to press a little bit higher, which leaves then space, as you can see in here, for players like Darami. So I'm just trying to get my fullbacks to just help a little bit more in build-up, rather than just having them as high as possible. Obviously, we've got Bazic fullback on attack, but he does tend to still help with build-up a lot more. Especially we want Bazic helping in a lot more because he's essentially a deep line playmaker. Right, Raskin's here. He's fired it in. I'll zoom in. We're 1-0 up. We did this before, though, so we can't get too excited. Lovely finish from Raskin at the edge of the area. I think Raskin is the halfback. Yeah, Raskin is the halfback. So he's still getting into areas that, you know, for me, I want him to be there. But that's Football Manager for you. There's Bazic getting right to the edge of the area. It's a great finish. Absolute stanch. Right, we're just coming up to half an hour ago. Nothing since the goal. We did score with Fofana at the back stick, but Collard has nipped in at the near post. It's a lovely whip for Recep Gudez. And Collard has headed home. We're 2-0 up. Are we making it to a European final, boys? Collard, you absolute little beauty. It's 2-0. We're in control. Can we get a third? Let's kill him. Letkovic, Collard, Recep. Lovely ball. Darami's in. It must be 3. It is 3. That's a wonderful goal. Darami's 17th of the season. And boys, we are going to a final. And it also means as well, if we do win it, it gives us automatic Europa League football, which is pretty cool. Right, Recep Gudez. Underneath it. They're going to break. There's no away goals, obviously, now. Surely it's too much for him to do. Even I'm confident enough to say that. Right, Letkovic just steps in, as he always does so well, and we're off. Reset, Bazic, Fabian, Collard. That's a poor ball. It's going to get cut out, but Fabian stamps in. So good at it, Raskin. Bazic, delivery. I said what I mean. I don't think, honestly, boys, we're that far off when we play like this. Fofana, Darami, it's in, it's another, it's 4-0. It's getting better and better and better. 4-0, 5-1 on aggregate. I'm just going to say I'm happy, yeah. Be nice if Fofana could get on the score sheet. We want him in full throttle for the rest of the season. Bazic. Pulled it to Raskin. Reset. Delivery. Fofana is there. It's offside. It looked offside. Linesman's put his flag up. Not even VAR. Yeah, he's off. He's way off. But he is decent in the air. And he's like 6'2". Right, reset. Whips again. Left foot. Letkovic is there. It's off the bar again. Aye. Right. We're going to make some changes. Let's get Van Barneveld on for Bazic. Swap them two around. We've also got the two centre-halves are going to actually come off for me. Let's go Ertsen and Voss could come on. Because Letkovic, they've just played a lot of games recently. The others all got rotated in against Hercules. We've also deregistered two of the centre-halves as well. Bazic gets injured, we've got a problem. So it makes sense just to be clever with who we rotate. Right, coming into the last 10. Obviously, we then go for the Ernest Poku. Must have had nearly a record number of... He's had 25. This is his 26th appearance as sub. Right, and let's go Reece Nelson on the right-hand side. Who's probably had more starts, to be fair. Yeah, he's had 14 starts, but he's also made 22 appearances as sub. And then we'll just see it out. Right, we love it. We're playing steady here. To be fair, they've gone a 4v3. 5v3, should I say. What are they doing? Like, what is that? Miles Jacobson, what is that? Cleared. Nelson. Collard. Interesting kind of Glenn Hoddle chip. Fabian. Poku. It's nothing ball. Ngoit. Lafise. We're hoping on 20, aren't we? An all-Dutch final would be pretty cool, just because we wouldn't be classed as favourites, but you would hope that we'd stand a better chance. There we go. We have made it into the Europa Conference League final. Oh, Frankfurt have won 6-5 in extra time. That's $1 million. That's nearly $2 million for us. We've made it to the final. We are playing Eintracht Frankfurt. Where's it to be played? Oh, it's in Holland. It's to be played at the Johan Cruyff Arena. Oh la la. Right, when is that? Obviously, it'll be the end of the season, won't it? I just need to make sure I get my dates right. How much after? Yeah, we've got 10 days between the Groningen game and Frankfurt, because I like to keep the run going as much as possible. All right, guys, that is it. Join me Tuesday. We'll go for like 6:45 p.m. on the channel. We will be playing the Europa Conference League. This tactic has saved my season. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I may do a little video on it soon, but we'll see how we get on Tuesday night. Cheers, guys. Take care. See you later.